Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to Multi-Photo Monday. As always, I will go ahead and link all of the ladies who are taking part in the series today down below in my description box. So be sure to go over and check out their videos. I'll also list the items that I used today on my layout down below in the description box as well. So here are the 3 photos that I'll be using today, and these are of my grandson. He was about 1 year old in these photos. He's now 7. So these are quite old, and I will be using it together with a sketch. Now for the layout today, I did challenge everyone taking part to use 5 different items on their layout, and it would be a sketch, twine or ribbon, the color blue, splatters, and 2 different types of alphas. So next up, you'll be taking a look at the sketch that I'll be using today on my layout. Now feel free to take part in this challenge with us and use these 5 items on a layout of your own. It does not have to be a 3 photo layout. It can be more or less if you like. And be sure to share with us in the Facebook group that I'll have linked in my description box. So for the layout today, I am using this Cocoa Vanilla Boys Rule collection, which I've been loving a lot and using a lot. As you can see, I am down to scraps. I don't have any full sheets left. And as you can see, I have my sketch up. That's number 1 on my challenge list. And here I chose a blue cardstock as my background. And that will be number 2 on my list. Now on the sketch, there is a pattern paper in the center of the layout, and that's what I'm doing right now. I am going to cut this down. This is the largest sheet of pattern paper I have left, so it's the one I'm going to use, and it actually worked out really nicely with this layout. And then there's a circle element to the top left corner of the photos, and I am going to cut that out of another pattern paper from this collection. And I am using a Martha Stewart circle cutter right now to go ahead and cut that circle out. So as you'll see, I do follow the sketch really closely, but I wanted a little bit more of that teal, so I added a few extra circles that were not on the sketch. So to the left of the photos, there's a strip of paper, pattern paper, and I wanted to use this denim pattern paper here, but it was not long enough, so of course I'm going to cut it apart and piece it together to get it to the correct length. And I went ahead and adhered my photos to my background. I did add a little bit of foam to the back of the photo that's on the left, so it's lifted off the page just a tiny bit. And right now I'm gonna adhere those circles, and you'll see the one that's on the lower corner of that left photo. I will go ahead and move that later on. So for the third item on my list, I decided to go with twine instead of ribbon, and I am using 3 buttons here on my layout, so I added a bit of twine to each of them. And you'll see me lay down just 2 of them now. Later on, I'll add the third. Now for the 4th item on my list, I do use 2 different alphas. I use black foam alphas. I use a really large one to spell out the word eyes, and that's what I'm doing right now. And then I'll use that second foam alphas I use a mix of uppercase and lowercase letters to add the words Major Heart. So my title will read Major Heart Eyes. So I'm just finishing up my title right now, and I'm really loving how this layout is coming together. I love the idea of using that really dark background because it made everything else on this page really pop. That black and white pattern paper and those little hints of teal throughout this layout as well. But at the same time, I just felt like my cluster on the top right and the main part of the layout in the center was just not pulled together really well. But you'll see how I fix that later on. And right now I'm adding the 5th item on my list, which would be to use splatters. And for those splatters, I use black India ink. Here I am pulling in a bit more of that blue denim pattern paper. I am adding a little bit of that to the bottom of my title. And here I'm just gonna begin embellishing. Now I do go really light on the embellishments, and for one, I did not have a lot of embellishments left with this kit, and the pattern paper is already so busy, so I didn't want to add too much to overwhelm this layout. So here I'm just adding in a strip to the top and bottom of my cluster in the center, and I'm using that notebook punch with some black cardstock to do that. And that is of course not part of the sketch, but I felt like it needed just a tiny bit of something extra to bring it all together. And to finish it off, I am diluting a bit of white acrylic ink with some water and adding some more splatters, and I felt like this connected that top right cluster to the main part of the layout in the center. And I'm just using my paintbrush to add some bigger looking splatters. I did not have the usual paintbrush that I use, so I hope you guys enjoy this process. Be sure to check out the other ladies. Their links, like I mentioned before, will be down below. And don't forget, you can take part in this challenge with us and share it with us in the Facebook group. So I want to thank you all for watching. And here are some still shots. And until my next video, bye.